What is going on, guys? Eric Janicki back here with another video. So today we are going to be covering how to connect with your audience to get them in a place where they're ready to buy a high ticket fitness program from you. So if you guys don't know who I am a fitness entrepreneur. I have built a 7-figure online fitness coaching business, Faction Training, and now I'm helping other coaches build their businesses as well. So if you guys are not subscribed to this channel, you are missing out. I'm giving a ton of free value out on this page. So please click that subscribe button. It is free to you. It means the world to me. So without further ado, let's hop into how to think about nurturing your audience and getting them in a place that they're ready to buy a high ticket offer from you. So where we're going to start with this presentation is just in guiding principles. So the first thing that I wanted to go through is that people need to be herded and nurtured into making a decision regarding their health. This isn't something that, especially at the price point you're wanting to sell at, that people are just going to be like, all right, cool, let me go to a website and click to buy a 4K program. No, what they need to be led to and help them understand is the value of what you're bringing. So basically, as a general rule of thumb, they're not going to click to buy a service unless it is very low cost and low commitment. So as the cost and commitment increases, the nurture sequence and how much you put into that lead is also going to have to increase. So basically, in order for somebody to buy something high cost, high commitment, they must be guided through a very important process called a nurture sequence. So what is a nurture sequence? I know I've been saying that word a lot. This is the process from which you take a lead that knows very little about what you do and what you can help them to achieve, all the way to willing to buy a 3 to 5K program from you. So this could include the following, and this is kind of in order of importance. Number one is messaging. So connecting with them personally is one of the most effective ways to build rapport and narrow the gap between first contact and point of sales. So ask good questions, create relatability, and organically transition the conversation to their fitness goals. So we're going to cover the full messenger script later in this video. But I wanted to just kind of start off with the overarching principle of you need to connect with people. Yes, you can have great content. You can interact with people in the comments, but you need to get these people in the messenger in order to get that personal connection with them, because they're not going to buy a 3, 4, 5K program from you if it's literally just pitched to them, right? There's going to be a process that needs to happen. Number 2 is proof of concept. So this is garnering testimonials, reviews, and transformation photos from your current in-person or online clients, and it's essential to your legitimacy. And the reason for that is people want to see that you can deliver results to other people, because they're going to look at you and be like, yeah, you spend all day in the gym. You don't know what it's like to have a job that you're, sitting in a desk all day. You've got 2 kids, you've got other responsibilities. And if you can show, hey, I've successfully worked with 100 people with XYZ goals, with, XYZ limitations, you're putting yourself in a much better place to close the deal, because they can see, okay, they're not just doing it for themselves, they're doing it for all these other people that are just like me. So that's why hit the streets, guys. Get your past clients, current clients, friends and family that you've done programming for to do testimonials for you, Yelp reviews, whatever you can get them to do for you. The best way to do testimonials, I found, is to do it over Zoom. Just because if you tell somebody, hey, can you send me a video? The amount of times I've asked clients, hey, can you send me a video? They're like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to do it tonight. Never do it. Oh, no, I'm going to do that this weekend. I got some time this weekend. Video never comes through. I'm just telling you guys from experience, with Faction, we've coached over 1,000 clients. We've probably gotten maybe 40 to send us video reviews on their own. But we've gotten over 100 on Zoom. And the reason it's more effective on Zoom is because you're actually setting a time with them for them to show up. You ask the questions. A lot of times people are uncomfortable, like self-guided, filming these things on their phone or something, like, they're like, I don't know what to say. Whereas if you get them on and you ask specific questions like, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself. What were some of your goals when we started working together? What were some of your biggest hurdles? How do we work through those? What has this final result been? And what would you tell other people that are looking would want to be working with me? And it's just as simple as that, usually 5 to 10 minutes. And then what you can do is not only have these assets, but then you can create what's called a supercut, meaning you can take some of the most powerful lines from your testimonials and put it into one short and let's say 4 to 6 minute video where you have all these different people saying these amazing things for you so that your client, your potential client doesn't have to sit there and watch, 15 testimonials. So those are going to be essential for you guys. Don't worry if you're just starting out. Like I said, get friends and family who you've done workout plans for and given results to, any in-person clients. They don't have to be online clients. And the way I do that was I did that originally when I had all these in-person clients with testimonials is when I sat them down to do the testimonial, I would say, hey, just talk about working with me as a coach, but don't specifically talk about the in-person aspect. Just talk about what we achieved, what goals we worked towards, what are some of the lifestyle changes we made, how we worked on your nutrition. Because if they're only talking about how great it is to see you in person every day, it doesn't really push the point home that these people should be doing online coaching. So one of the best examples I can give of this is some of the most successful bodybuilding coaches in the world have kind of passed their prime physically themselves. And you wouldn't look at them and think they know what they're talking about. But the reason that they are some of the most sought after coaches in the world is because what they're doing with their current bodybuilders that they're working with, because nobody cares what these guys look like when they're 60, but they're coaching 40 pros and their pros are all winning shows. That's how you are going to determine who you want to work with. And that's exactly how I picked my bodybuilding coach, who I have a show with in 3 weeks. He's not looking that great himself right now. He's actually not a pro himself, but he coaches like 50 pros and he is extremely intelligent and he's extremely diligent. I interviewed him. He was on his P's and Q's. He had all the right answers to my questions. So that was more important to me than what the guy looked like. And you guys have to stop thinking like, oh, well, I look amazing, so obviously people are going to want to work with me. That's the first step. Sure, it's great to have proof of concept in yourself and the fact that you look great, but at the end of the day, you're going to need to provide results for other people. And that's what they're paying you for. Okay. So don't have a ton of transformations or testimonials. Go out and get your friends, family, and social media followers to let you coach them for free or for a reduced price. This will accomplish 2 things. 1, you get more experience and you basically get to garner new skills. And 2, you get more proof of concept. So I know it's tough to go out and offer your services for free. And I wouldn't say for free, but I would say, if you don't have proof of concept, you don't feel comfortable charging that price, which is fair if you don't feel like you have the skill sets, because that's a big part of creating a very expensive offer is having the chops as a coach to follow through and have fanatical fulfillment for your clients. So what I would suggest is go out, learn more. There's some great nutritional courses out there. There's some great certification organizations, NASM, ACE. And I would suggest doing that before trying to delve deep in online coaching, because there's thousands of coaches, tens of thousands of coaches that have more experience, more testimonials, more transformations, more proof of concept. They're more comfortable selling. So you need to get comfortable in your service and your niche. And that's the other thing. Once you start working with a specific type of people, you'll get very good at it. And then you get to niche down and charge more. So that's something I went through in another video. So make sure to go check out my page for creating your offer. So the next thing is creating value-driven content. So what I mean by that is basically you're going to have to provide tons of value on your social media platforms because it's basically the billboard for your service. And I know that a lot of coaches and people that are selling a service that have this reticence to offer free value, right? Like I'm doing right now, is basically giving free value away, right? This is a ton of great information that I'm giving for free, because of the fact that when people see how knowledgeable you are, they're more incentivized to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe this guy could really help me out personally with what I'm working on. So that's the goal with these videos. If you see these videos and you're like, wow, Eric's pretty knowledgeable in this space, I'd love to see what he's doing for other students, what he could possibly do for me. That's the same thing's going to happen with your fitness, with basically people that are seeing your fitness page. So what you want to do is start creating reels and posts targeting your audience's biggest pain points, hesitations, misconceptions, and self-limiting beliefs. And so what I mean by that is if you are, let's say, working with weight loss clients, right? You can talk about yo-yo dieting. Everybody most people that are trying to lose weight have lost weight before and have gained it back. Not eating carbs after a certain time, not eating carbs at all, training fasted, doing boot camps, like all of these things that you guys know, people that lose weight struggle with, this restricted binge pattern, restrict all week and then blow it on the weekends. So you guys can create value-driven content to create solutions to those biggest hurdles. So you can obviously focus on one thing at a time. So let's say it's cutting out carbs. You can make a reel about, how obviously you are able to lose weight even while eating carbs. It's all about creating a negative energy balance and getting more active throughout the day, focusing on strength training, focusing on recovery and sleep. And that's why you can still eat carbs and lose weight. So that's just one example of thousands of content that you can create. And I think that the big mistake is a lot of trainers make just post workouts, right? And while that can be eye-catching, it's not going to garner you high ticket clients because everybody's posting workouts, right? And it's not going to have somebody who's really struggling saying, hey, I really love to lose weight once and for all. And they see you shredded, shirtless, working out. It's like, it's not going to get you somebody that's probably going to want to pay you 3, 4, 5K for your service. So, I put a couple examples in here in the PDF that I'm going to attach to the video. So the second thing is do live Q&As with your followers where they can ask questions and you can share your knowledge. I think this one's a great one to do. There's a couple ways to do this. One is you can post a Q&A on your Instagram story, and then you can conglomerate the questions and then answer them on the live, as well as any new questions that can't come up on the live. Or you could just announce the live itself and say, hey, I'm answering a bunch of questions about XYZ, whether it be nutrition, wellness, weight loss, and then you can go live at a specific time. I always recommend weekends. That's when I've always had the most engagement. Saturday, Sunday mornings are usually pretty good. I've had, thousands of people on Sunday morning ones. And I would say do it consistently too. So if people get used to you doing it, maybe noon on Sunday, make sure you continually do it noon on Sunday, because that way it just becomes more cyclical and they have a pattern to follow. Next is posting Instagram stories outlining your day so people can feel more connected. This is something I talk about all the time, is that on your Instagram stories, you want to document instead of curate. And this is something that people get mixed up on a lot. It's because they want everything to be curated, everything perfect. But really what you have to do is just document your day. Why are you doing the things you're doing? People like to feel connected to you. What are you having for breakfast? Do you do coffee in the morning? What do you put in it? Do you do a walk in the morning? Why do you do a walk in the morning? Do you meditate in the morning? Why do you meditate in the morning? What do you do for your workouts? What are you doing for your lunch? What are you doing for fun? Do you have a significant other that you can do stories with? See, that creating that personal connection goes so far into getting people interested to work with you, because at the end of the day, they're buying the service from you, right? So if they feel like, wow, Eric's a really fun guy, I totally love his story and what he does on a given day, I'm really excited to potentially work with him, right? So the other thing too, you can sneak in your stories is what I like to call a sneaky little flex, right? So if you are eating a good amount of carbs and you're very lean, you could basically say, oh, I know it kills me that people think that you can't eat carbs and really get lean, because look at me, I'm eating all these carbs and I'm let's say 10%, 12% body fat, whatever it is. That way you're kind of breaking through these misconceptions on your stories as you progress. Next is posting all of your client wins, texts, photos, testimonials as stories, and then saving them as a story highlight. So if you get a client text that says, oh my God, I lost another 3 pounds this week, eating more food, this is amazing, I'm so thankful, this is changing my life. Boom, screenshot, take off the name, post it on your Instagram story, say hey, if you want to have amazing results like this person, link in bio, whatever it is, or DM me. That's going to be really, really important, because it just gives more proof of concept, gets that content in front of people more frequently, and then also save it to your story highlights so they'll be there forever. So that's something you can literally, if you guys haven't tried this trick before, you can literally hold it down and you can actually send it, copy the link and send your story highlight via iMessage or text message or in Instagram. And you can basically send them that story highlight link. So when they click it, it'll take you right to the highlight. And so if you're like, you know, have a call coming up with somebody, you can literally send them that link and say, hey, if you want to like get a little bit more understanding of the client, like the results I'm getting from my clients, check out this link. It's got some results in there. Super easy. Post transformations and their story in the caption as often as possible on your timeline on both Instagram and Facebook. This is going to be huge. Just posting a before and after and their story below it, where they were at before, what you guys worked on, what were some of the results outside of just the aesthetic changes, and then obviously call to action if people want to work with you. Next and lastly is creating a community. So this can be done in a couple ways. One is garnering emails to create an email list where you can alert people of new trainings, promotions, and challenges. So if you are collecting emails in any type of way, whether it be through a funnel or through ads or even through organic, definitely conglomerate those. And you can use something like MailChimp and send out different promotions or client wins as they come up. It's a very good way to kind of create that community. Second one is creating a private Facebook group where you can share information, nurture leads, and create a sense of community. And we'll cover this one actually in another video. I'll have a whole video on Facebook group strategy. So next is getting calls on the board. So now that you have your assets in place, it's time to message about 20 to 30 leads per day. I know that sounds overwhelming. It's super easy, guys. Once our students in the program get used to it, it takes them like 20 minutes in the morning to get those messages out. Obviously, you want to get in there and field them throughout the day, but this is how you're going to get calls on the board. So basically what you want to look for is people that have commented on your content, those who like your content, or those who start following you or friend request you on Facebook. So if you are get a new follower, message them. Simple as that. What to look for. So if you go to their profile, are they in your niche is number one. So let's say you specifically work with moms that want to lose weight and an 18-year-old boy follows you, probably shouldn't message that person for a high ticket online program. It's probably not going to be very fruitful. So just make sure that they're in your proper niche. Number two, do they have a profile photo and content on their page? If somebody has no profile photo and like one photo on their page, probably not a good sign. I would skip on those people. Three, do they look like they could invest? Things to look for like their cars, vacation, career, if they talk about their career in their bio, things like that. That's a really good thing to look for. And lastly, do they look like they could use your help? So if somebody is like shredded to the bone, they're probably not going to have the pain point of like needing to buy a 4 or 5K program. So I'm not saying they have to be like morbidly obese, but and not to be insensitive, but you should look to see if they probably could use your help. All right, so last thing we're going to go through is the messenger script here. I don't want to take too much time on this. I'm going to include this, but basically the way you're going to do this is just starting the conversation. So if they've commented on your post, I've got a couple trajectories for you. So like, hey, name, saw you commented on my post. I figured I'd shoot you a message instead of blowing the post up. Appreciate the engagement. What got you interested in commenting? So I'm not going to go through all of these. You guys will have this PDF attached below the video, but it gives you all of these different scenarios of how to message people in different ways, how to engage with them, just kind of examples. It's very short. And basically what you want to do with these conversations is just create rapport. You want to make them feel heard. You want to relate with them. So if you go to their page and you see that they're from a place you visited, or they have 2 dogs or whatever, something relatable, you can always bring that back and make the conversation feel more organic. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I think that this is one of the most important things, is just creating that value-driven content, getting the messages out, connecting with people, because there is going to be an inherent gap. I always explain this between first point of contact and buying a 4 to 5K program. And the more value-driven content you're posting, the more you get in front of them, the more you're posting Instagram stories, live Q&As. I can tell you right now, I have sold so many programs just off my live Q&As, because people will ask questions and they'll be so surprised that I'm talking about metabolic adaptation, metabolic scaling, macro breakdowns for different goals, and the importance of recovery, cortisol levels. Like people are like, oh wow, this guy's very knowledgeable in this space, so maybe I should really reach out to him for coaching. So that's been really tremendous. Or doing Q&As on your stories. So if you post the question box on the story and then answer the questions on your stories, that's another really good way to do it. Also, just like literally hammering value-driven content. You can use trending sounds. You can use basically you talking to the camera, adding closed captions. There's so many ways to do it. I'll show you guys in a following video how to create really, really effective fitness-based reels. So look forward to that one. All right, guys. Well, I will catch you on the next video. Make sure to subscribe if you are not yet, and I'll see you on the next one.